So what I want to do is show you my deer fence. This is what my brother did. I think it was this year, early this year or last year. And this is what I did. And it seemed to work out really well, and I didn't realize how easy it was. So I want to show everybody exactly what I did in case you want to plant some summer food plots and you have too many deer or hogs or whatever it might, or it's just a small plot. So long story short, this is a solar powered control box. This is the grounding rod. This is from Tractor Supply, maybe 30 some dollars, and a piece of wire that leads to it. We have these little clips here. I'll show you close up in a second. Those are from Amazon. The poly tape is 3/4 inch poly tape, and that's from Amazon as well. I haven't been able to find it anywhere close to this cheap, and it's good, strong poly tape. 5-foot T-posts will be fine. These are 8-foot here because they're extras that I had around my garden, but we used 5-foot for the rest of it. These little yellow clips, these are from Tractor Supply as well. We only use T-posts in the corners, whether it's an inside or outside corner, and then just run a straight line to the next T-post, you know, the next hard bend. And between those, we use these. These are from Tractor Supply as well, 48 inches, fiberglass, $1.99 a piece. You can't find them any cheaper, surprisingly. Or maybe you can, but this is what we used. They just, you step on them, and then you just slide the tape right in. We average around 3 feet from the inside to the outside perimeter. On the inside perimeter, the first one is around 17 inches. The second one's all the way up here at 4 feet. But with these here, once you get these in the ground, of course, it ends up being about 41 inches, and it works fine. So we do a top one and a bottom one on the inside, and then one in the middle on the outside. Some people say you don't need this one. My brother tried it without. They jumped over it, annihilated the food plot. We have way too much time and money invested in these beans, especially time. I don't know how much tractor time I have plowing and disking and fertilizing and spreading lime, but it's a lot. So it's worth every penny to invest in something like this, because you can use it year after year after year. This is all we have right here. These are the only items that you really need. They are the only items you need. It's just after you get from this point, it's how much you want to fence in. This is good for 2 miles, this control box, and this is a huge field now. With 3 strands, I think we're kind of stretching it with this box. So I only have this top one here and this one, this outside one, powered right now. I would say the effectiveness of this is around 99.5 or so, or I don't know what you would want to call it, but we have a lot of deer here. We have way too many deer. At one point when we were planting the other day, we had 28 deer in the field while we were in the field planting with a tractor. And I've only seen a couple fawns skirt under, and I've seen a couple doe in here in the last, this has been up for almost a month now. Unfortunately, the beans, I hope they make bean pods, but that's for another day. I just want to show you this here because it's super simple and easy. You can put it up by yourself if you are alone. My brother did it, and his food plot looks great. And that's down in East Texas, and there's no ag down there. It's either planted pines or it's just cattle pasture with fescue grass. So when he plants something, it just gets destroyed. His is looking great. He has another plot that he planted, does not have a fence up, but an exclusion cage, and you can see that exclusion cage looks like a green cylinder just full of beans and peas. He has one of the two planted, or maybe both, but either way, it's full, and everything else around it is dead, aside from what looks like a little bit of sorghum growing in there. So these things are worth their weight in gold. I highly recommend you invest in one. If you can do whatever setup you want. That's up to you, but I've always been kind of unsure because I've seen all these videos of people buying these kits. You don't have to buy a kit. Just go online, get yourself a control box and the tape and these little clips that I'll show you right now. So these are the clips. They go right on the T-post. They snap on there. I'm not sure where Kurt got this, but this is just a solar powered control box. Farmworks. So I'm thinking Tractor Supply. And these little things here are from Amazon. They clamp on there. We have it going from the box to here and then over to this one as well. And then it did go from this one down to this one, but I just took that one off to see if we can give this outside one a little more juice. These here you put on the outside so that the tape is pushing, you put it so the tape is pushing against into this clip, because if not, these will open up, I'm sure. The other thing is these little step-in fiberglass rods, these are all you need between T-posts or between corners. I think I have the furthest distance I have is probably over 100 yards between T-posts, between sharp corners. And this is all that holds the tape up. The tape is very light. It's easy to see, it's easy to work with. It doesn't get all tangled up that bad. And this is plenty to hold it up. All you have to do is you pull the tension, and most of it's on these T-posts, you know, sucking in. And then this here just holds it up off the ground. You step it in the ground. The way we did it, I put both of these T-posts up. They are, which they could have been a little bit further apart. I measured the other ones down there and they were about 4 feet. Yeah, these are only 3 feet, but they should be about 4 feet. And I think I mentioned it's about 3 feet between the inside and outside perimeter. I set these T-posts in. We put a spool in the back of the gator with a couple rolls on here and tied it to here and here. And all we did was I sat on the back of the gator and Cousin Kurt drove every 40 yards or so, 30, 40 yards. We put 2 of these in about this far apart, put the tape on it, and then continued on. And then the last pass, all we had to do was go around the inside and put this top one on, and we were done. We tightened it up, tied it in a knot. We didn't do anything fancy. I mean, we literally just pulled it as tight as we could, tied the tape in a knot, and that was it. And it worked. And it has worked very well. It's worth every penny. And if you think it's too hard or too difficult or takes too much time, it does not. We did this in a couple hours in an evening, and it's a huge field. We have almost, I would say, 6 acres or maybe a little bit more fenced in right now. But that's it. Hopefully this helped you. And it's easy to move as well. Before, I just had the beans and the sunflowers encapsulated, or fenced in, I should say. And then we planted some more, and the deer, we just have way too many deer now, so everything we have just gets annihilated. Well, we planted some more plots here, we replanted some things, and we expanded the fence, and I did that by myself. I just popped these out of the ground, took the poly tape off the clips, grabbed a hold of it, ran down through the field, threw in 2 new T-posts, and that was it. So if you have a small area you want to do some beans or something that gets chewed off, which here it's everything, some tape and a trip to Tractor Supply, and you'll have a nice little deer fence. Alrighty, hopefully that was helpful. See ya.